Torchlight Infinite beta is out. I played it for 12 hours. Let's talk about it. Firstly, let's talk about the loot. Also, my gameplay is a bit scuffed because I've never had to record a mobile game, nor do I ever actually play mobile games, so the quality is a bit on the bad side. Just try to ignore it. Trust me, the game doesn't look this bad. So the loot in Torchlight Infinite does not change how your character looks, probably because it's a free-to-play game and they want to make money off of cosmetics, which is also probably the same reason they went with a hero selection instead of being able to create your own character. The gear slots in the game are as follows. You've got helmet, chest, amulet, 2 rings, boots, gloves, 2 weapon slots for 2-handers or a one-handed weapon and a shield, and a belt. When you equip something in your weapon slots, those items change on your character, so if you equip a new staff, it'll look different, but that's it though. White or gray items are the most common, then you've got blue, purple, pink, then legendaries are orange and sport that nice beam of light. If you've played any other action RPG in existence, you know what to expect when it comes to stats on gear, affixes, all that stuff. Pretty much the same here. The higher the quality of gear, the more affixes it has, although each affix in Torchlight Infinite also has a rarity. So if you get a purple item, for example, sometimes it'll just drop with 3 common affixes, but sometimes you'll get lucky and net yourself an uncommon or a rare one. Infinite's got some of their own wordage that they use here, like some affixes give you the ability to trigger something called blur or surge, but for the most part, if you've played an action RPG before, you'll feel right at home with the stat drops on gear. There's also enchanting, which lets you tinker around with individual stats, and crafting, which gives you even more control, all of which costs ember, which you collect as you play and when you sell items. Other than the tutorials, I didn't mess around with these systems too much because I didn't want to get in too deep before I knew if I was actually going to care about, like, actually playing this game for the long run or over the next 6 weeks that the beta runs for. I think so far I've played around 12 hours, which allowed me to get through the available storyline and into the endgame dungeons. In that time, I got 4 legendary items, a hammer, a bow, a claw weapon, and a ring. Of course, the character that I chose uses a staff, so 3 of those were useless to me and I just chucked them into the stash, but visually they did look pretty sick and unique, especially the hammer. Legendaries also drop with a specific legendary power, but I didn't really get to mess around with these because, like I said, only the ring was useful to me and it just basically buffed up my elemental damage and resistances a lot, and that's it. I tried to get a legendary armor piece to drop or something that would give me some cool legendary ability to use, but after 4 or so more hours I only got that ring, so I just gave up. That being said, I also was curious as to if legendary armor, being that they're the most powerful and the most rare, would change how your character looked. I unfortunately don't have that answer, but I have a pretty good guess that they don't, solely based on the cosmetic shop and loot boxes that are indeed in this game. The game is free to play, so we knew this was coming. I talked about this in my video a couple days ago before the beta was live, and man did I call it, so specifically too. Another huge problem with cosmetics in loot-based games is that why would the devs make a legendary sword, for example, look badass when they can sell you that badass sword cosmetic in the store for real money? Would you look at that, my first cosmetic is a legendary sword skin. Isn't that something? So yeah, there are weapon cosmetics, full-on skin cosmetics, back accessories like this is Fortnite or something, footprint effects, town portal effects, head cosmetics like a halo, different cosmetic effects for skills and effects for your body. All cosmetic, all with various rarities, and all acquirable through the loot box system that Torchlight Infinite calls boons. 100 Primo Crest gets you 1 pull of a boon. Primo Crest being what I'd assume you'd be able to purchase with real money once the game is fully out. In the closed beta, you can't purchase these. Instead, every day when you log in, you get 1,000 of them to use simply for participating in the beta. When you click on the details for the cosmetic boon, you can see the drop rates of each quality of item and the chances you have at obtaining a legendary cosmetic, which is a whopping 2%. Once you have opened 50 boons, if you have still not gotten a legendary cosmetic, that chance goes up to a whopping 4%, increasing by 2% every consecutive opening after you pass 50. There's also like no character safety drops here. For example, I played as the Ember Mage, but I ended up getting a legendary skin for a different character entirely, rendering it useless unless I played as that character. So it was exciting, and then I was instantly let down. Duplicate drops from boons get recycled into a different currency that I can't remember the name of, some kind of purple coin that you can spend at the in-game shop on shop skins. After getting about 20 duplicates, I had about 4,000 purple coins of the required 33,000 to buy one single skin. Yeah, fun. But wait, there's more. If the Primocryst currency is purchasable, which I'm 98% sure it will be, there might be some pay-to-win arguments here, because right next to the cosmetic boon is something called the Packed Spirit boon. Packed spirits are essentially pets, and you can equip 3 pets to something called the Packed Tree, which is full of passive buffs that you can choose from when you acquire packed points. You can only get these pets from the boons, and when you equip them, they turn the boring standard passive buffs like plus 2% experience or pierce 1% elemental resist into massive changes like plus 10% damage and higher rarity drop chance. Those are just the 2 examples from the rarer pack spirits I managed to obtain from the boon. I know this is a single player game, but that's still pay to win in my mind, or gamble to win, whatever you want to call it. I don't know about you, but that's a big turnoff for me and gives actual backbone to the argument that Torchlight Infinite might just be a cash grab. That's the loot and item portion done. Now I'll quickly just touch on the game as a whole. It's actually really fun. I don't play mobile games ever, but I like Torchlight, and I didn't want to wait for this to eventually get to PC to try it out. The game looks fantastic, even though my gameplay quality is bad. I know, trust me, the game actually looks good. It looks like Torchlight. That being said, this literally doesn't remind me of the old Torchlight games at all. It just looks like it, that's it. The game is also pretty linear. You basically load into an area, walk in one direction as you kill monsters, at the end there's a boss, and then you move on and do it again. Nothing crazy. There's a couple more open areas, but for the majority of the game, for the beta at least, it's pretty straightforward, literally. I feel like if Torchlight Infinite does come to PC or consoles, this linear aspect of it will really make it feel like it's supposed to be a mobile game. Other than that, the combat and skill usage is easy to understand, and the UI doesn't get in its own way. I bashed Torchlight Infinite's marketing when they said that this action RPG has infinite loot, infinite skill customization, and infinite dungeons, because most action RPGs feel like that nowadays anyways. But I can definitely see the argument for the infinite skill customization. There's a lot of skill stuff. You have 5 active skills that you can use in combat, and you get to pick from a huge selection. Then each of these skills have 5 unlockable support skill slots that change the active skill they're equipped to. And there's even more of these, ranging from an increase in attack or cast speed, lower cast cost, health cost instead of mana, freeze chance, elemental imbue, added projectiles, increased AoE, effect triggers, cooldown, stun chance, shatter, health regen, and just many more that I really can't remember or haven't gotten yet. On top of that, the more you use the skill, the stronger it becomes, and you have 3 passive skill slots that also have 5 support slots each. And then you have your hero trait, which is basically like an ultimate move that's really powerful and unique to the hero you're playing, which also has a mini upgrade tree. And you have talent trees, 3 to use in total. These act as the main creation of your build, offering up tons of buffs to literally anything and everything. It is a very deep system with a lot of customization, so if that is your thing and you can see past the possible pay-to-win and microtransactions, there's a good chance you'll enjoy this game if you like mobile games and if you like action RPGs. You've also got tons of progression systems like mini achievements and story progression that earn you small amounts of Primocryst. There's a season pass thing that you can level up for currencies, weekly quests and missions, all that nonsense, it's all here. The only thing I really didn't delve into is the endgame dungeons, which by the way have exclusive legendary gear as rewards. These dungeons are adjustable with various items to increase their difficulty and increase the potential rewards. I died at the boss in my first dungeon attempt, like instantly. I walked into the boss room, took one shot and died. Even though the game is fun, I'm not really keen on squinting at my phone as my hands are going numb. as I try to tinker around with thousands of skills and talents and perks and pack nodes and passives to try to make a better build. That and the fact that loot doesn't change how you look really kills the vibe for me, as visual customization is probably my favorite feature of loot-driven action RPGs. The pay-to-win, the gacha, the loot boxes, and the season pass that you'll probably have to buy doesn't sit right with me. Even if it is a free-to-play game, I'd rather just play a different action RPG. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Are you into any of this? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it or found it informative, that would be dope, and subscribe for more game news focused around loot, as well as a permanent increase of plus 10% magic find. You're welcome. Peace out.